All right, let's unpack this, shall we? We're going deep on electromechanical engineer interviews today.
Awesome.
And, luckily for all of us, we've got some pretty incredible resources from RoleCatcher to help us out.
Yeah.
We're talking career guides, interview guides, even sample questions.
Wow.
It's like having a cheat sheet, but not just telling you what to say, but like why it actually matters to land the job.
I like that. A little bit deeper.
Exactly.
Like deep dive.
A deep dive. Exactly. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's go.
Okay. First things first, let's set the stage.
Yeah.
What exactly does an electromechanical engineer do? I mean, we all have a vague idea, but like paint me a picture.
Sure. So it's more than just circuits and gears.
Okay.
It's designing systems that blend those two worlds, electrical and mechanical.
Okay.
You're creating blueprints, testing prototypes, maybe even working on robots.
Robots? That's the dream.
Yeah, it's a field that's constantly evolving, which makes it super exciting.
I can imagine. And speaking of exciting, the RoleCatcher Career Guide kind of paints a really optimistic picture, I'd say, of the job market.
Right.
It says the demand for electromechanical engineers is growing, like faster than average.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Faster than average, which is awesome. And RoleCatcher's AI can actually help people tailor their resumes and answers to the specific job roles.
That's amazing.
Within this, within this growing field, you can see what skills are most in demand and make sure that you're hitting those in your application.
So it's not just about knowing the stuff. It's about knowing how to present it in a way that really gets them, gets them excited about you.
Gets them excited.
Okay, so let's say you land the interview.
Right.
What kind of questions should you be ready for?
I think one of the classic kind of opening questions is, tell us about your experience with electromechanical systems.
Oh.
Something like that.
See, that sounds really broad. Where do I even begin to answer something like that?
I think this is your chance to showcase your passion for this. Don't just rattle off a list of projects.
Yeah.
Make them, bring them to life. Did you build a robot that could solve a Rubik's Cube? Talk about the challenges you had to overcome.
I wish.
The problem-solving process the moment it finally clicked. Make them see your enthusiasm.
So it's not just about what I did, but how I felt about it, too.
Exactly. They want to see that spark. I think another common question is going to be about your design process. Something like, how do you approach designing electromechanical systems?
Okay, so that's where I get to be like super organized, analytical me.
Exactly. Exactly. So do you start with sketches? Do you use specific software? Talk about your methodology, but keep it concise, keep it engaging. Don't get too lost in the weeds.
Right, don't use too much jargon.
Don't use jargon, exactly.
I feel like this is where RoleCatcher's AI feedback could come in handy.
Yes.
Because it can actually analyze your answers and be like, hey, this is how you could make it clearer.
Yeah.
Or, hey, this is how you can make a little bit more impact.
Exactly. Think of it as like your personal coach.
I love that. Okay, let's get into like a trickier question.
Sure.
The ones that we all dread.
Okay.
Can you tell us about a time you had to troubleshoot an electromechanical system?
Ooh.
Everyone's got a story about like a project that went wrong.
Yes, but I think the key here is to showcase how you think.
Okay.
Walk them through the steps that you took to identify the problem. How did you narrow it down? How did you ultimately find a solution? And what did you learn along the way? Don't be afraid to talk about the lessons learned.
So even if the project was like a total disaster,
Yeah.
I can still spin it as like, hey, but I learned something from it.
You learned something from it. It shows you're adaptable,
Okay.
that you're always looking to improve. So remember how we were talking about the demand for electromechanical engineers being high?
Yes.
So RoleCatcher's Career Guide actually talks about all the different industries where these skills are needed.
So it's not just one specific path.
It's not.
There are options.
There are options. You could work in manufacturing, aerospace, robotics.
Robotics, again,
The possibilities are endless.
endless. I love that.
And that leads to another question that I think is pretty common, which is, why are you interested in this particular role?
Okay, so they want to make sure that I did my research.
Yes, and that you're not just like sending out a generic application.
Spraying and praying.
Exactly. This is your chance to connect your skills and your interests to the specific company and the position. Do your homework.
Oh, wait.
What are their projects? What are their values? What is their culture? Show them you've actually thought about how you can contribute to their success.
So I should be tailoring my answer to each company that I apply for.
Absolutely. A generic answer is not going to make you stand out.
Not at all. Now, teamwork. Super important in engineering, I'd imagine, right?
Yes, absolutely. We're rarely working in isolation.
We're rarely working in isolation, so they're going to ask me about that, aren't they?
Yeah, a question like, can you tell us about a time you worked effectively as part of a team?
Okay, so teamwork. I need to have a really good example ready.
Yes.
One where I, actually contributed.
Exactly, and it shows that you're a good team player. Choose an example where you played a key role in a team project and highlight your communication, how you compromise, and the contribution to the team's overall success. And remember, RoleCatcher's AI can help you pinpoint which teamwork skills are most valued in different industries.
Okay, so I need to do my research on the company, and I need to use RoleCatcher's AI to, help me fine-tune my answers.
Exactly.
It's like having this whole team working with me.
It is. It's all about preparation. And that brings us to another important question. Can you tell us about a time when you had to modify an existing electromechanical system to meet changing requirements?
Oh, adaptability.
Adaptability.
Yeah, because in the real world, things don't go exactly as planned.
No. Never. This is designed to see how you handle those challenges, how you adjust to new information. So choose an example where you had to think on your feet, maybe even scrap your initial design and come up with a new approach.
Okay.
It shows that you're flexible and a good problem solver.
So there's a theme here, right?
What's that?
It's not just about knowing, the technical stuff.
Right.
It's about thinking critically, solving problems, being adaptable.
You got it. And RoleCatcher's AI, remember, it can analyze job descriptions and highlight those specific skills that are most important for the role, so you can tailor those answers accordingly.
Amazing. Honestly, this is making me realize that interview prep is more than just memorizing answers.
Yeah.
It's about understanding myself, understanding my skills, and how I can actually contribute to their success.
That's the perfect mindset to have.
Awesome.
Let's take a quick break, and then when we come back, we'll dive into some more interview questions and really uncover the secrets to crafting those impressive answers.
That's good.
All right, so, we talked about some of those kind of basic electromechanical engineer interview questions.
Yeah.
But let's really get into some more technical stuff.
Okay, let's get technical.
A common one that I see pop up all the time is, can you explain your experience with programmable logic controllers?
PLCs.
PLCs.
Okay, so that's getting into industrial automation.
Exactly. PLCs are kind of like the brains behind a lot of automated systems, so they're a pretty big deal.
Yeah, they are a big deal.
In electromechanical engineering, so be honest about your level of experience, but don't be afraid to showcase, your enthusiasm and your willingness to learn.
So even if I haven't worked with PLCs a ton, I can still knock their socks off.
You can talk about any projects where you've used logic or control systems, even if it wasn't specifically with a PLC, and highlight any coursework or any personal projects that show that you have a good grasp of programming and control concepts.
Gotcha. That makes me feel a little bit better, actually, because I was looking at RoleCatcher's AI, and it was flagging PLC programming as a skill that maybe I should brush up on.
Yeah.
Which is great because, I'm always happy to learn new things.
Mm-hmm.
But it actually recommended online courses that were specific to the jobs that I was looking at.
Isn't that amazing? That's the beauty of AI insights like that. They can help you identify those gaps and actually get you learning what you need to be learning for the current job market.
It's personalized just for you.
It is.
Amazing. Okay, so let's talk about another topic I think that comes up a lot, sensors and control systems.
Yeah. Can you explain your experience with sensors and control systems?
Sensors are everywhere these days,
All right.
like in our smartphones and our cars.
Everywhere.
It's a pretty broad topic.
It is broad, but the key is to connect your experience to the role you're interviewing for.
Right. Okay.
So think about projects where you've used sensors to maybe collect data, control process, or enhance a system's functionality.
Okay, so for instance, when I built a weather station and I was using temperature, humidity, and light sensors to collect data and then display it on a website.
Perfect.
I could even talk about how I calibrated the sensors and wrote the code to process the data.
Yes, that's exactly what they want to hear. They want to hear specific examples. You've highlighted your skills, your technical skills, and you've shown them that you can integrate those different components into a working system.
That makes sense.
Mm.
Now I'm assuming we're going to dig a little bit deeper into motor control and power electronics.
Oh, yeah. Can you explain your experience with motor control and power electronics? Something like that?
Okay, now we're talking, those are the muscles behind electromechanical systems.
Yeah, the muscles.
I've always been fascinated by how electrical energy can be converted into motion.
Me too. It's definitely a core area of expertise for electromechanical engineers.
Yeah.
So focus on projects where you've worked hands-on with motors, Power supplies, control circuits, that sort of thing.
Okay, so let's say I built an electric skateboard.
Perfect example.
I could talk about how I selected the motor, the battery, to get the speed and the torque that I wanted. And I designed the speed controller to like manage the power delivery to the motor.
Yeah, that's awesome. You've demonstrated your understanding of motor principles, power electronics, and system integration. And remember, RoleCatcher can point out what motor control technologies are really hot right now for different jobs.
I love that it's like a cheat sheet.
It is.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about technical skills,
Right.
but we all know that soft skills matter too.
Yes.
So how do I showcase those in like a technical interview?
That's a great question. I think they'll definitely be assessing your communication, your teamwork, and your problem-solving approach like throughout the entire interview.
Okay.
So when you're describing your projects, be sure to highlight those things.
Okay, so instead of saying, I designed the circuit, I could say something like, I collaborated with the software team to design a circuit that met their specific requirements.
Much better. You're weaving those soft skills in.
And weaving them in.
Yes. And they're probably going to ask you about teamwork specifically. Can you tell us about a time you faced a challenge while working on a team project?
Every team project has challenges.
Well, for sure.
That's inevitable.
Whether it's conflicting ideas, communication breakdowns, or just crazy deadlines.
Yep, been there.
Yeah. So pick an example where you were proactive in overcoming that challenge. What was the situation? What was your contribution? What was the outcome?
So I need to be prepared to talk about, the good, the bad, the ugly.
Yeah.
But always end on a positive note.
Exactly. You want to show them that you can collaborate effectively even when things get tough. And remember, RoleCatcher's AI can analyze your resume
Oh, yeah.
and identify areas for improvement. So if teamwork is super important in the job description, you can make sure your resume highlights your teamwork experience.
So smart. Okay, communication skills. I'll be honest, I get a little nervous in interviews. I'm not always the most articulate.
That's totally normal. Most people feel that way. The key is to practice explaining those technical concepts clearly and simply. And remember, they're not just listening to your words.
Oh, right. Body language.
They're looking at your body language, how you're carrying yourself.
So eye contact, posture, smile.
All of it.
It all matters.
It all matters. Those nonverbal cues make a big difference.
Okay, I will be practicing my power pose.
Good. And remember, enthusiasm is contagious.
Oh, yeah.
Let that shine through. Talk about the projects that got you excited, the technologies you want to learn more about, the problems you're really driven to solve.
I will do my best. Okay, let's talk about another soft skill problem solving.
Yes. Describe your approach to solving complex technical problems. Something like that.
That's basically engineering in a nutshell, right?
It is. We're problem solvers.
We are.
So this is your moment to shine. Showcase those analytical skills, your ability to think outside the box.
Love that.
So describe your process. Do you break the problem down into smaller parts? Do you brainstorm? Do you test different approaches?
So if I had to design a system and I had limited resources,
Yeah.
I could talk about how I researched different options, weighed the pros and cons, and ultimately came up with a solution that was cost effective and met the project requirements.
Exactly. You've shown them that you're resourceful, analytical, and you can find creative solutions even when you're working within constraints.
Which is basically every project ever.
Pretty much. And RoleCatcher AI can also identify those problem-solving skills that are most valuable in different industries.
I feel like we keep coming back to that, and it's amazing.
It's so helpful. It's like your personalized playbook.
It really is. Now we've covered so much.
I know.
Is there anything else I should keep in mind as I'm, getting ready for this electromechanical engineer interview?
I think the main thing to remember is that an interview is a two-way street.
Ooh,
You're interviewing them too.
I love that.
You're trying to figure out if this is the right place for you.
Right, because I have skills.
Exactly.
They need me.
And the best way to figure that out is to come prepared with good questions. Okay. It shows them that you're engaged, curious, and thinking beyond just getting the job.
So what kind of questions should I ask?
Okay.
Because I don't want to sound like I didn't do my research.
No. Think about what really interests you about the company or the role. Maybe you're curious about their approach to innovation or what kind of projects they're working on.
So if I'm really passionate about sustainability, I could ask about their commitment to eco-friendly practices, or if they have any projects focused on renewable energy.
Perfect. You've shown that you've done your homework and you're aligning your values with theirs. You could also ask about the company culture opportunities for professional development or even the biggest challenges they're facing.
Asking about their challenges, that seems a little bold.
It might, but it also shows that you're not afraid to tackle tough problems and you're already thinking about how you can contribute.
I like that approach.
And remember, RoleCatcher AI can also tailor your questions to those specific roles and companies.
No way. So I could use RoleCatcher to see what skills or experiences are most valued in a certain role, and then ask questions that show them I'm an expert.
Yes, exactly. It's like having that secret weapon
I love a secret weapon.
to make sure your questions are hitting the mark. Now, beyond asking questions, there's a few other things I think you can do to make a great impression.
Lay on me.
Okay, first, body language.
Quite.
Super important. Make eye contact, sit up straight. Project confidence.
Okay.
Even if you're nervous on the inside, try to seem calm and collected on the outside.
So no fidgeting, no avoiding eye contact, even when I feel like I'm under pressure.
Right. Your body language speaks volumes,
It does.
so make sure it's saying confident professional.
Got it. Okay. I'm bringing back the power pose.
Good. And remember, enthusiasm is contagious.
Yes.
Let your passion shine through. Talk about those projects that got you excited, the technologies you're eager to learn more about, the challenges you're really driven to solve.
So it's not just about listing my accomplishments. It's about letting my personality shine through.
It's about telling your story.
I love that.
As an electromechanical engineer, what are you proud of? What are you passionate about? What makes you tick?
I'm realizing that interview prep is so much more than just answering questions.
It is.
It's like self-discovery. It's showcasing my skills. It's finding a company where I can actually do my best work.
That's a great way to put it.
Awesome. Well, RoleCatcher has given us all the tools, the insights. Now it's time to let those personalities shine.
Let those personalities shine. Okay, so we're back. And it's the final stretch of our electromechanical engineer interview, deep dive.
It is. We've come a long way.
We have. And by now, I think anyone listening could probably build a robot that could ace these interviews.
I hope so.
Right. You've got the knowledge, you've got the skills, you've got the insights from RoleCatcher.
Yeah.
You're unstoppable. But there's one more piece I think we need to put in place.
Okay.
Remember how we were talking about an interview being a two-way street?
Oh, yeah. I'm not just there to impress them. I'm also trying to figure out if I even want to work there.
Exactly. And the best way to do that is by asking insightful questions.
Okay.
It shows that you're, engaged, you're curious, you're thinking beyond just getting the offer.
Right.
So what kind of questions should you ask? Think about what genuinely interests you about the company or the role.
Okay.
Maybe you're curious about their approach to innovation, the types of projects they're working on.
So if I'm really passionate about sustainability, I could ask about their commitment to being eco-friendly, or if they have any projects, focus on renewable energy.
Perfect. That shows them you've done your research and that your values align with theirs.
Okay.
You can also ask about the company culture, opportunities for professional development, or even what are the biggest challenges you're facing right now.
Asking about their challenges, that seems a little bold.
It might, but it also shows that you're not afraid to tackle those problems and you're already thinking about how you can contribute.
I like that approach.
And remember, RoleCatcher AI can help you tailor your questions to those specific companies and roles.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So I can use RoleCatcher to figure out what skills or experiences they really want and then ask questions to show them that I have that.
Exactly. It's like having a secret weapon to make sure those questions really hit the mark.
Love it.
Okay.
All right. So beyond the questions, is there anything else I can do to really seal the deal?
I think body language is huge.
Okay.
Make eye contact, sit up straight. Project confidence, even if you're nervous on the inside.
Yeah. Fake it till you make it.
Fake it till you make it. I try to seem calm and collected on the outside.
So no fidgeting, no avoiding eye contact.
No, none of that.
Even when I feel like the pressure's on.
Right. Your body language says a lot, so make sure it's saying, I'm confident, I'm a professional.
Got it. Power pose all the way.
Power pose. And we've said it before, but enthusiasm is contagious.
It really is.
Let that passion shine through.
Okay.
Talk about those projects that you're really excited about, the technologies that you want to learn more about, the challenges you're just driven to solve.
So it's not just about listing off accomplishments. It's about letting my personality, kind of come through.
It's about telling your story as an electromechanical engineer. What are you proud of? What are you passionate about? What makes you tick?
You know what I'm realizing? That interview prep is about so much more than just answering questions.
It really is.
It's about self-discovery. It's about showcasing my skills. It's about finding a company where I can actually thrive.
I love that RoleCatcher has given you the tools, the insights, and now it's time to let your personality and your passion really shine.
So to all of you listening out there, you are now armed with a deep understanding of the electromechanical engineering world, and you are so ready for those interview questions.
You are.
But here's a final thought for you. What kind of impact do you want to make as an electromechanical engineer? What problems do you want to solve? What innovations do you want to bring to the world? Let that passion fuel your journey.
Good luck, you got this.